Hi and welcome to today's unboxing. Today we will be unboxing this really cool set from Derwent. This is the burnisher and blender set which they have. So it is supposed to be colorless and it is very good for your pencil sketches. So in fact this is the first time that I am going to be using something like this. I've been doing pencil sketches for over 2 decades right now, and I absolutely love creating with them, but this is something that I thought, okay, maybe it's high time I get it, and let's try it out and let's see if it is really as amazing as it sounds. So it comes as a set of 4. There are 2 burnishers in this and 2 blenders. So what's a blender and what's a burnisher? So burnisher will give you slightly, I would like to call it as a glossy effect, and the blender, as the name suggests, is what it's going to do. It's going to blend it, and there is a nice eraser along with it, and there's also a sharpener, and this is a professional set. So this is what it is. It has 4 different things. So there are different apparently different versions in this. It says there is a GB, there is an F, there is an E. I think this is just a regular, I think, different languages. But anyway, so this also talks about how you should be using this. It says for the burnisher, you should just use it over the color, and it creates a burnish, which is basically shine. So shine without changing the color of your artwork. This is very important because otherwise how do you create a nice shiny finish in your artwork? So you should lay the burnisher down first and can be used for wax resist. So that is also an amazing thing. So I'm going to show you even that today. It's going to be really fun to see that. So what is it? It is something like masking fluid if you are somebody who does a lot of watercolor paintings. So that's what masking fluid also will help you to do. So time to unbox and work on this. So here are my 4 pencils. I really love how they hold in your hand, and the white with the name is engraved into this. It is, I think, engraved or it's printed because it doesn't have a depth, but it is really nice, and I love this. Okay, so this part is engraved over here. Okay, so let's see if the other one also says the same thing. Yes, so this also says R1, and this one here, which is your, this is an RT. Also, I think it's an RI and RT. So this is a burnisher, and these are your blenders. So the tip is pretty strong. It is not like you would have seen these eraser pencils. So this is not like that. This is like your regular color pencils, but I think it's slightly thicker. I use a lot of different brands. Probably we'll get one of them out and we will try this along with that. And this also has like a bend here, which is very interesting. I don't know if it's probably the packaging issue. It's I think it's more of the packaging issue which is there, but they hold really well. Okay, I love the feel of it. So if I have to show this to you in front of like a regular pencil, then you can see this is slightly thicker, so I can feel that this holds better than this does. So I'm quite excited to try these out. So let's go ahead and try these out and see how they work. So I'm going to be using sketchbook from Bristro for this. This is about, I think, it's not too thick, but it's not as thick as a watercolor paper, but it is pretty good for your color pencils. It also has like a slight texture on top of it. So I like using these for doing small color pencil work. So the color pencils I'm going to use today is the Staedtler ones. Although the burnishers and blenders we have is from Derwent, I think it's still going to work really well with these. This is the Staedtler 60 carat aquarelle. It basically has 60 colors in it. So this is my set. I love doing this. I think this is a lot of fun. Alright, so we're going to make a few small things right now, and we're going to use our blenders and burnishers. We'll start with the blender first. So I'm going to create probably some cherries, and we'll try and blend it. So I'm just going to draw like a very thin, light, basic sketch first. and then we'll use our color pencils to color in. Alright, so let's pick out some reds, oranges, yellows, white, and green for the stem. Let's also try and see if so I don't want to use the sharpener for sharpening these color pencils. I don't want that to get spoiled because this is colorless. Although it looks white, it's going to be colorless. Okay, so let's go and start with the coloring of these. So this will also help you to understand how to color these beautiful cherries. I've got some more colors. So I like the 60 color range. It gives me like a nice wide variety. So I'm starting off with this here. I think I'm going to also lighten this a lot more so you can see how the blending happens. So I'm going to use a putty eraser to lighten this. Alright, okay. So a little bit of yellow. Let's make the stem first. You can see I'm not blending anything, so it just comes on top. There's absolutely no blending that happens over here. I'm going to color in for the cherries now. I'll also put like colors or pencils down in different directions, the strokes. I want to see if it blends in different directions. So normally I do the hatching or the different direction strokes only if I have to do like shadows or if I have to show some effect. Otherwise I make sure that I always go in a single direction when I am using my color pencils. But that's also because I've never really used blenders before. So I manage it the way with, you know, a lot of pressure sometimes. Sometimes I don't apply a lot of pressure, so it gives a really nice, beautiful finish. You'll also add in some browns to get like a depth. Okay, so let's pick out a couple of browns and add some depth. Again, I'm trying not to blend anything already, so just adding lines of it. Okay, and some shadow now. So for the shadow, I'm going to pick out like something maybe like a gray. Okay, so we have our drawing ready. Little yellow for some highlight. Okay, now is time to use the Derwent Blender and see how this blends. So we'll start from here. I want to add a little bit of brown and probably some dark green, and we'll see how it blends. Alright, okay, so here we go. Oh, this is amazing. You can see how all the colors are just blending in so well. Gives such a smooth, beautiful finish. So there's very little residue, but I don't think that's going to mix in over here and create an issue. Oh wow. Going in all directions and the blending is perfect. Shadow. I think this is a brilliant bite. It's amazing. It looks awesome. I'm quite happy with the final feel of it, and I think it's really worth getting this one. Now to try the burnisher. So I'm going to try on one of this and see. There are two ways to use the burnisher. One is when you have an already completed one and then you just add, roll over the burnisher on top of it. It'll give you a slightly shiny finish. Let's see how it works on this. And the other way is to create like something out of this, and then you just create lines and something, and then you color on top. That I'll show you. The first thing we're going to do is on this. So I will not add the burnisher on this cherry. We'll add it on this cherry and see if there's any change in the effect. So it's supposed to be shining, which will happen when we, I think, take it against the light. Let's find out. I think there's a very little shine. I'm not able to exactly see that. So that's something that we'll have to find out, but let me try another small piece over here without using the blender, and we'll try to burnish that and see if there's any effect. Alright, so I'm using now the burnisher again. Oh, now I can see a little bit of shine. I'm not sure if the camera can capture that shine, but I can see like a nice little shine finish. So I'm just going to put it in like different directions so you can see if there's a little bit of shine anywhere. Let me bring it closer. Okay, so the other technique, okay, of how to use it is you just lay it down. So let's say I'm going to make like a square, and I'm going to create probably some circles inside it. You can also create a nice brick wall, but the first thing that I'm going to do is this, and I pick out any color and I go over it. So I made a very light line, hence it's not coming out. So I'm going to try and make, I think I should make a slightly thicker line. Let's make tic-tac-toe. Oops, I ended up using the blender, but let's try if anything happens with the blender like that. What happens when you add the blender first? It still works with the blender like this. It's interesting. But we should be using the burnisher, so I'm going to create like a brick wall pattern. And this is amazing. So if you're a pencil artist, you know how difficult it is to create this kind of an effect. It's going to take you quite a long time, and you have to make sure that you don't fill into these areas when you're coloring it, and it becomes kind of difficult sometimes. So I think it's brilliant to use this. This is the blender effect, the burnisher effect, and this is the blender. So if you ask my opinion, I think it is a brilliant buy. For using textures like these, I would highly recommend getting it, because you will not get this with your regular ones. So I think it's perfect for that. I'm going to just try one more thing over here, where I'm going to use the blender on top of this to find out if I can make this even smoother. You can see how the colors are able to come out really well, pop out. It's because the colors are mixing in quite well. It's amazing. So this is my review for today's Derwent blenders and burnishers, and I think it's an amazing buy. It's absolutely perfect. So if you are somebody who does a lot of pencil color work, you have to get these. So if you're new to my channel, do consider subscribing for it. I put up a lot of art videos and tutorials, and also unboxing and reviews. And thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you for the next video. Bye bye.